Carina Press and HarlequinAudio present Trusted and True by Rhenna Morgan, performed by John Lane and Kit Swann.
For my dad, I still miss you. Chapter 1. Callie. Hi, my name's Callie, and I'm an alcoholic and drug addict. Off and on for over 6 years, those exact words had rolled off my tongue countless times. Today, the quaver in my voice made it sound like it was day one. The people seated in the circle around me echoed back a strong and friendly, "Hi, Callie." And then there was nothing but silence. Silence and a host of patient expressions aimed my way, while I clasped my sweat-slick, shaking hands a little tighter in my lap. For the first time in a long time, I didn't recognize a single face in the room. None, that is, except my sponsor, who'd helped me move over the weekend, and now sat on my right. I cleared my throat before I spoke. Not that it did much in the way of adding confidence. "So, I'm new to the Dallas area." "Nope, not really true. Try again, Missy." Shrugging, I let out an exhale on a self-deprecating chuckle. "Okay, returned is probably more like it. I left here a little over 6 years ago for Louisiana. It was either go to treatment there or pay for my drinking and drugging with a bullet to the head." I glanced at my sponsor, Maggie, beside me. Damn, but that woman was an angel. Hard as hell when she needed to be and never let me off easy when I had my head up my ass, but seemed to have an unlimited supply of patience where I was concerned. She smiled and dipped her head in encouragement. Letting out a slow breath, I wiped my hands on my jeans. The thing is, that trip to rehab didn't work. I mean, it did for a bit, and it definitely screwed up my being able to stick my head in the sand about my using, but it took me another 6 trips through hell before this time around. That horrifying sensation of having an invisible noose wrapped around my throat cinched a little tighter, remembering what had finally brought me to where I was today. 372 days ago, I woke up naked in a bedroom I didn't recognize to the sound of gunshots. Not that waking up naked in an unfamiliar house was all that abnormal, but gunshots and a whole lot of yelling and screaming? Yeah, that scared the living hell out of me. Worse, I was still fucked up enough I couldn't move very well, and didn't have the sense God gave a goose. I ended up jumping out of the bedroom window half-dressed and earned myself a broken forearm and some pretty scars from broken glass. I ran one finger across a particularly nasty one that cut across the back of my wrist, the blood that had covered my skin that day still vividly bright in my mind. I spent a long time that day trying to call someone, anyone, to come help me. I shook my head at the empty center of the circle before I met the gaze of a late 20s or early 30s man right across from me. He didn't know me any more than I knew him, but he knew exactly what I was talking about. The recognition, the understanding, was right there in his eyes. No one would take my calls. I had no money, nowhere to go, no friends or family who'd have anything to do with me. The only thing I had to claim for myself was another fucked-up situation. And that's when I hit my bottom. Not so much because of how banged up I was, but because I had nothing. No self-respect.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?